So stroke and fill are the two ways of changing colors of objects in Illustrator, as I mentioned in the video previous, but it's relatively simple. Instead of having a color picker for foreground and background that Photoshop does, each object has two colors to pick from or two colors to designate. One which is called the fill, which fills the inside of a shape, and the stroke, which fills the path or the outside of an object with color. Now to change this one, all you need to do is either click over here on the left in the toolbox, or up in the toolbar up here, you can also click the drop down to select a color out of a palette of colors, or on the left you can double click and get your regular color picker. So let's change this to, say, pink or orangey pink inside. And now I'm going to click the stroke, and I'm going to let's pick a red. So now if I click outside the shape, it will apply both of those. I can actually also select with my selection tool the black pointer or the V hotkey. I'm going to drag and select everything that I've drawn so far. And I can see everything in the color picker on the side here and the one up here have changed to question marks because there are multiple different colors, so it can't represent all of them at once. It's saying these are mixed colors. So now that I have them all selected, I can click the fill color, and I can click the stroke, and let's make it bluish green. So now you can see that this shape, even though it is not closed, it has a fill. So it's filling to, let's make it smaller by clicking V and then. So if you want to resize something like I just tried to do, in Illustrator, you want to hold Shift as you size something down to keep the original proportions. Otherwise, if you just size without holding Shift, you'll get, this sort of transformative application. Now, if I hit undo, hold Shift to make it smaller. Oops. You can see that it has a fill. It's just not a closed shape. What I would do if I want that to go away is individually click this one with V, hold Shift. So now holding Shift allows me to select both of these, and I can go into the fill, and actually if I want to get rid of a fill, you'll see there's this option with a white square and a red line through it that says none. So I'm going to click that. And now those turn back into just lines. You can see that there's no fill blocking it. You can also alter the stroke a little bit more. If you go to select one with your V tool, I'm just going to isolate one by itself so you can see. So I have this blue, dark blue stroke color here. Now going up to the very top, there's a few different options for stroke now that I've gotten that selected. So I can actually turn the stroke way down so it's very thin, all the way down to 1 point, so it's hardly even there when you zoom out. Or I can make it really thick, 15 points. Oops, it wasn't selected. 15. Now I should also be able to go way overboard, make it really thick. So more stroke than it is fill, but you can do that. Return the stroke to about 10 points. And right next to the points or the size of your stroke, you can actually change the shape that is applied to that path. So the shape of the stroke is different. The path stays the same. It's still these three lines connecting to each other to make a triangle, but you can apply sort of a style to that stroke. So it's a little bit heavier in parts and then thinner in others. You can kind of change it to, do a few different things. And then you can see that there's also this basic thing showing up here. You can also apply a few different sort of effects, like brush strokes, to your stroke. I only have a few loaded, but let's do this sort of like gritty pencil-y one. I guess it's called charcoal. But it gives you this sort of like irregular line. So yeah, that's the basics of stroke and fill. It's just, clicking, making sure you have your fill selected, which is the solid shape, and then the stroke is the sort of square with a square in the middle, like a donut. So yeah, that's what you need to know about fill and stroke to do very basic things. As with every tool here, there's many more advanced options, but this is what you need to know to make your project number 2 and assignment number 2.